Hey everybody, it's Matt from the house. I'm here with Jayson from Burton, and he is going to run us through the Burton men's binding ladder for the 22-23 season. Let's check these out. All right, first up, we've got the Freestyle coming in at $180. This binding is actually a really good bang for the buck.
With the Freestyle, the idea behind this is it's definitely a softer flex. So kind of for that maybe lighter weight rider, maybe a more beginner rider that doesn't want to have that instant input going edge to edge, it's just a little bit more forgiving. What we do there is it still has the reflex base plate, so it still flexes with your board this way, but we're using the polycarbonate tray. So polycarbonate material is definitely really soft, but very durable. Injection molded straps, you got the super grip toe strap, and then we got the injected React strap there too. It just doesn't have the spine, but is a little bit more forgiving. Really smooth buckles too. Still using the flex slider, on the ankle strap. Just makes it a lot easier to get into. You're not fighting the strap to try to get in.
So basically those beginner, intermediate riders, you just like that nice, soft, easy feeling bindings. That's those guys that are gonna want the Freestyle. All right, jumping up to 230, we've got the Mission plate. So with this, we're mainly jumping up in the base plate, and we're getting a 30% glass base plate, but then also the high back is a little bit stiffer than the Freestyle too, right?
Correct. So what the stiffer base plate and the stiffer high back is going to do is it's going to allow you to ride those more aggressive boards. The stiffer the binding is just going to give you more response. So we use that fiberglass loaded nylon, base plate in the tray to give you that toe and heel edge response. Still has that reflex base plate, so still flexing with your board this way, no dead spots, but giving you that toe and heel edge.
And then they do have that one colorway that ties back to the Good Company snowboard that has that wing on there, which a lot of the guys that ride the park like, or even outside of the park. It's basically you want a little bit extra to lean on, a little bit extra support on the outside. There is that one colorway with that wing tie back. All right, jump up to 290. We have got the Cartel. This is that one binding that nobody hates. You can put it on pretty much any board in the lineup. And we're basically getting a big upgrade in the strap on this one.
The hammock strap, it does have, that injected molded hammock on the outside, but then the spine through the middle. So this is what attaches your straps to the buckle and everything. That's where a lot of your response comes from. And then this is just a hammock. So the other thing is just one single piece. This has got two pieces. It allows for really good support, but also gives you, really good response. So.
And the high back on this one too, it's actually pretty rad because it is a little bit thinner, but it's really cool compared to the Mission. Is this thing actually has a little bit more flex side to side compared to the Mission, but it still has that stiff feel when you lean back on it. So the high back really is kind of an upgrade on this one as well because you're getting the stiffness where you need it, but you're also getting the flex where you need it. All right, jumping up to 330, we've got the Cartel X. This binding is basically for those guys that have been riding the Cartel, but they say, you know what, I want something a little stiffer, I want something a little bit quicker. So we're getting a big upgrade in the base plate and in the high back in this one, right?
Yep. So when you head up from the Cartel up to the Cartel X, you're getting a little smoother buckles too. You're getting the dual component buckles, so you got the nylon teeth here, so they're not chewing up the nylon. Just lasts a little bit longer. You're also getting the Super Grip Cap Strap 2.0. It's got a silicone kind of rubber overlay in there, so that just grips the end of the boot. So there's a lot of different shapes and materials and boots out there, so just provides a little bit extra grip there. You also go to a 45% glass nylon on the base plate.
So it's almost half glass.
So the higher the glass content, the stiffer. So it has that kind of same response as like a carbon. Anything from Cartel up through Genesis, you will be able to get it in both the EST version for the channel or the reflex. So you can put them on any board out there. One of the other tidbits too is you get heel hammock in the back here. So definitely the more pressure you put on that, it actually grips the backstay of your boot. Extra dampening in the base plate or in the footbed as well. You're getting that extra B3 gel in there, so it deadens that impact.
So yeah, so definitely getting a lot of upgrades in this binding, but it's definitely not better than the Cartel. A lot of people think it is better than the Cartel, but it's not. It's actually just different. So for that couple extra bucks, you're basically getting a really quick feel from edge to edge. But if you like to have that little bit smoother feel, then actually the Cartel might even be a little bit better binding. But Cartel X, a lot of upgrades for a little bit extra money. All right, and jumping up to 360, we've got the Malavita. So this is actually one of the team favorites other than the Cartel X. So we're basically doing a little bit of an upgrade in the straps, also in the buckles, and the ladders, and also an upgrade in the footbed in this one too, right?
A couple more technical, little higher end features. So you go to the double take buckles, so you kind of notice that it's got the little different angles on there. So what that is we have kind of this helical gear drive on the top that drives you into the binding. And then you have teeth on the back, so that's what holds you in there. It's just a lot smoother. You know, every buckle stroke is you know, it's got 3 teeth that are engaged, so it's a little smoother. We also go to the ASIM strap too. So the ASIM strap, we kind of reduce some material on the inside there, allows for medial lateral flex. And then you also go to AutoCant. So what AutoCant is it's a softer density foam on the inside of the footbed versus the outside. You start putting pressure on it, it'll allow your feet to cant when you need it, but when you're turning, it'll allow your foot to roll flat.
So yeah, again, high-end binding with all the features, but you like that little bit easier, smoother feel. All right, next up at 380, we have the Genesis, which a lot of people think this is actually one of the stiffer bindings, but it's actually not. It's actually very, very smooth, easy riding binding, and for that extra couple bucks, we're getting big upgrade in the strap and a huge upgrade in the high back, and especially this year. So what do we got going on in this bad lad?
When you go to the Genesis, versus something like a Malavita or a Cartel X, you do go to the React strap, but it is a much softer, denser feel. And it also has kind of this crisscrossed spine in here too that allows a really good foot roll in this, so you can really kind of tweak out tricks, things like that, but it's not like a crazy stiff strap pushing down in here. And then double take buckles, you also get the kickback hammock, so a new high back on this, kind of mirroring the design of like our Genesis step-on. We've kind of basically integrated it so it's still a separate piece. You still get that really good wrap around your boots and everything.
There's also a much bigger piece of rubber in the back here, I'm noticing too.
Yeah, before it was kind of molded in, but yeah, now it's just right at the base of the high back here. Available in both Reflex and EST, so it still has the auto cant. One nice little thing about the EST version, it does have the hinge in it. With the Genesis, it actually, this part here that holds you to the board is that 30% glass, so you get that toe and heel edge response, but this is actually an 18% glass on this. So this thing has got a lot of really good foot roll.
It really has that all mountain, go anywhere, do anything capability, but it really fits well and moves with your boot no matter what boot you're wearing. All right, and jumping up to 550, we have the XEST. Now, good thing to note, this only comes in an EST. It does not come in a Reflex because of the footbed in this thing is what makes this binding so amazing. Not just the carbon in it, but this footbed can only be done on an EST binding.
Yeah, so you get into the X. So the idea here is that we want this to be extremely responsive. It has the carbon blended base plate. It does have the carbon high back, so it's definitely is really stiff, really responsive high back. But what's nice is it is shaped really well too. It does have a pretty unique strap on it too, where it is kind of that similar strap to like a Malavita. It has the ASIM strap. But it actually has the same spine as like the Genesis with the crisscross here. So
it's kind of a combination of those two straps.
Yeah, so you get the response out of the base plate, but you get a little bit more of the movement kind of comes from the strap. Footbed on this too, it's the spring bed, so it's actually like a carbon and fiberglass bed on top of here. So you're riding on this and it actually create some suspension there.
I've actually ridden this base plate before and it is incredible. With the EST, when your board flexes, this can flex with your board, and then that footbed actually flexes as well. So when you come out of your turn, not only is your board pushing back, but now your binding is actually popping back too. Another thing that I actually like about it is I feel it actually softens up your landings too. I've actually had this on a park board and landed kind of flat, and it really didn't faze me much either because it actually has a little bit of that give when you come down on it. But again, traditionally it's for those guys that like that really stiff, super quick reacting binding, something that's gonna get from edge to edge right now. All right, well, thanks for climbing the Burton men's binding ladder for the 22-23 season. If you got any questions about any of the stuff we talked about in this video or any of the other Burton stuff, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure it's actually going to fit you and your riding style. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. Grab yourself a pair of Burton bindings and get out and ride, because any day riding is a good day riding.
You said 480. That's a lot of money.
480, is that what I said? What an idiot.
but you can get it for $300 off today only.
Always.